There we go. Hi
Hello.
there. I am Andrea Goeglein, and we are now, I think, at week 4 of the unicorn check-ins, something that we were starting just to do one. We're going through each week, according to who shows up and who's playing with me, the last 7 tips or wherever the person is at this time. Know that you can join us. I'll be doing these as rolling. This series ends on December 5th, but I will be doing it again. And the only thing you need is to do a small donation to my friends at Teach for America, Nevada, and all the details are below. So welcome and hello, Janice. Thank you for joining me today.
Hi. Thank
You
you.
were
Thank you for
about
having
to,
me.
yeah, well, you were about to tell a great story.
I was professionally.
Yep.
Well, so I can preface by saying you and I have worked together quite a bit about putting myself in there when I'm taking care of everybody. I can take care of me too, right?
Right.
So it is my job, so to say, to support others, and I love doing that. I just really love helping other people build their book of business. However, I also have a job, and it's also my job to build my own book.
Right.
So, in the process of helping another person, I just poured my blood, sweat, and tears and time into an account.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I also had one that I was working on. It was much smaller, and I set it aside to help the other guy, right? So that one fell through. It was
The big piece
really
of business that you were
the
helping someone else with.
big, huge piece of business. We thought it was sold. I mean, they wanted to celebrate it, and I said, I never celebrate until I get the check for the down payment ever.
The money's in the
So anyway, that fell apart. And in the meantime, I go, damn it, I left, excuse my language, I left all the little stuff that I was working on for me slide. And long story short, I thought that I was out of the ball game because I go, I'm just going to take a chance and send my proposal out to this woman anyway. This morning I logged on. Fantastic work, Janice. Thank you so much for all your work. What do I need to do? Where do I sign? And I'm like, yay, I closed mine.
Well, it's very interesting because that is the theme of using our work to be of service to others is a really hard one when it comes to success and what we know the protocol. Like it would, logically, the logical brain says that, oh, you should have only been working on your account and then helped someone else with their stuff. And I would say that from a more unicorn perspective, that pouring your blood, sweat, and tears into something else where you were being of service, kind of lit the way for an easy yes on something you were working on. And I think what's really important about what you talked about is that you actually went back and caught up on what you had left there. Many times when one thing doesn't come through, we then don't do the next thing.
Right.
We
and
say, I use, chocolate cake analogy, and I'm not a big chocolate cake eater, but that whole thing, I ate the chocolate cake, so then I might as well keep eating other stuff. It works that way with our goals and what we're trying to achieve economically and within the success within our businesses. We think that once one big thing doesn't come through, then what's the purpose of going back? And the purpose is don't close a door till the door's been closed. And you never know which ones are going to open. So I really congratulate you.
Thank you.
Where have you been? Where are you in the Unicorn Challenge map of the world?
So, Janice tattling on herself. I've started and stopped so many times.
Right.
I just started and then I And I'm using this challenge this month of November, instead of doing something like professionally, which I love as well. I decided to add more fun into my life and do something that I enjoy doing personally. So I started that, and it's funny because communication and reading, to me, I read what I want to hear. And so that first chapter, the dump list,
yep,
I for some reason I read it as dump everything, like make a list of 100 things you want to do, right? And
no, that wasn't what I said, but go ahead. That sounds like a nice thing.
exactly. And then when I got to like the second one, what things can you what can you do to work towards that one goal, that one three things? I go, oh, there was only one one goal. So that's where I'm at. I redid my dump, and then on the second day, I go, what three things can I do? First is make time for myself, which is huge. You know, I already prefaced that I'll give it to everybody but me.
Right.
Secondly is the second thing, obviously, is just to make the space, and the third is just to organize what I already have. Right. So should I tell you what I'm doing for this unicorn challenge or no?
Well, I want you to hold that for us, because I know Judith doesn't have a lot of time, and I want to make sure she gets her push for the week, because she's
okay, good.
out the door to get an airplane.
All right.
So, Judith, in the time that you have, why don't you do a check-in so that we can support you?
Oh man, so today's travel day, but before I do that, I have so much to do. I have kind of fallen off the wagon with looking at all the videos this past week. However, life has not stopped.
Right.
I'm very much on goal with getting a Kickstarter campaign launched by Thursday. And so there's just so much to do with all of that, because it regards our Key to Me music app. So I'm really excited about getting all of this done. So that's where I'm at right now.
Super. Well, and that's one of the things that I'll say on every one of these videos. The reason this thing is 60 days is as artificial as, you know, you can change your life in 28. It's honestly developing the discipline of checking in with yourself on a consistent basis so that you do continue to move along, whether it's having fun or a Kickstarter for your app, which I think I missed that post. Have you posted about that yet?
There's been a teaser. As soon as this thing gets launched, it's going to be everywhere.
Okay.
So you'll hear about it soon.
Okay, because, you know, of course, you know that I would like to push it forward for you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
How can I help? I'm curious what it has something to do
why
with
don't you why don't you use this moment to explain what that is?
So this app has just recently received its patent. And it's been 5 years just waiting for the government to do all this with us. And before that, I've been talking with thousands of clients about, oh yeah, there's going to be a music app. So it's been like in process for almost 10 years.
Wow.
So it's finally getting launched. The software design team is helping me completely figure everything out. So we have, it is so finely detailed. I'm very excited about it that we can actually do a Kickstarter campaign. So the end goal with stretch goals is like $136,000, which is not bad for doing a prescriptive app that's going to deliver prescriptive playlists that are very personalized, with tutorials, with assessments, with 26 digitized products interweaving with it, where it's going to help you to regulate emotions so that anxiety, anger, depression, sadness can be regulated in as little as 15 minutes, and you're building resilience at the same time that you're feeling more peace and joy, all that in one app. So this comes out of clinical evidence.
That's fantastic. Wow. Good for you. 10 years.
Yeah, it's
talk about not giving up. That's great.
And therein lies, you know, the stuff that's supposed to stay in our life. Like, we cannot predict what will be a success, meaning you're developing this to do the good, but also to make a profit from it. It's, you know, we live in an economic world, and we don't know what the outcome is. What we do know is those things that we love so much that regardless of what the rest of the world says and how many obstacles are put in front of us, we continue to move forward. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's, whenever you say things, I look at that on my list. You know, this process that we work in, I know we all work in it at some level. But I go back on those bigger items and just ask the question once every 6 months to once a year, is this something I still want? And if the answer is yes, you know, I've got to suck up the frustration and just keep going.
Yeah.
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 Mm.
So Janice, yay. That is really big. And I'm glad that you checked in with that. I will tell you that, you know, tip number, where is it? It was one of the ones I could have sworn, number 17, day 17, allow others to help you. The art of allowing ourselves to be helped is an art form. It requires you be gracious in accepting the gift of help. And I think things like Kickstarter take that to like a steroid-ish level of, you're putting your work out there, you're risking being rejected. I remembered there was a product I was using during the pandemic, a particular bread, and the people, you know, put out a Kickstarter at one point, and it didn't go to fruition. And within about 6 months, the company had to fold. Another one that I've done for a publishing house that I really respect, their Kickstarter worked, but 24 months into it, the world of publishing has changed yet again. And this is a company that's been around 25 years. So it is interesting how these, the mechanism of asking for help. Mm-hmm. Again, it's never about the guarantee. It is about knowing this is what you're supposed to be doing at this moment. So Janice, I had cut you off to make sure that we got you.
That's okay. I'm more interested in how do I follow along? How do I get the teasers, and what website?
Oh, okay. So it's real easy. I'm going to give you the URL. It's KEY, the number 2, me, MEE.com. Key to Me is the name of the app.
Okay, awesome.
Keytome.com. And it'll take you to, right now, our main website URL that just talks about the app, and the actual Kickstarter launch will be linked to that. So if you just go to that URL, you'll get all the right links.
Okay. Perfect. And Judith is also on LinkedIn, and she posts really about that. And I know that music is something you're very interested in, Janice. So it would be good.
My brother, by the way, my brother Ron is a producer for Bruce Springsteen. And he just found out like a week ago that one of his songs was up for a Grammy.
Oh, so wonderful. Yeah.
But the thing about your app that I really like is, you know, in the very depth and darkness of real depression, like of shock, I think for me, one of the only things to pull people up is actually listening to music. Like, I've had a lot of loss in my life. I'll just be very open. And in that first 2 weeks or so, I think I was listening to a lot of classical Beethoven, and people told me the works that were channeled by God, right? So I think your app is so interesting. It's like, I mean, combining I've always said that music is God's language to us. And I don't know how you are spiritually, but I don't, that's what I believe. So for you to put that together in an app, it's brilliant. I'm really happy for you.
Oh, thank you. So there's also a news story that's going to get syndicated at the same time this goes out. That is a replication of the podcast that's already gone viral, that is talking about all of this, as well as my recent hospital experience saving my father's life in an ICU unit with music. So there's I mean, literally, he was taking his last breath. We were all gathered around, and I just started continuing playing music, and he started conducting me, totally unresponsive.
Wow.
The medical team wrote all of their testimonials about it. The doctor, the attending nurse, and physician assistant, they're all testifying about what happened in writing that's going out in this news story about music actually changing the color of his skin from blue, black tongue to pink tone in minutes, and all of his signs normalizing.
That's incredible.
So it is. It's a movie. I've had to start sharing it now for several weeks, so I'm no longer crying about it, fortunately. But yeah, it's when you know what you're doing. So I'm a music therapist. So
okay, all right, perfect.
I deploy a lot of information constantly.
Well, so I'll be open. I've worked with Andrea. I've worked with Andrea for a few years, and one of the things she had me do, by the way, when I went to my job interview, was dance before I walked into the interview. So this morning I put on, so that my vibe would be high, I put on "Your Love Is Lifting Me Higher," and I'm just dancing away.
Absolutely.
Right before I joined.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It works.
I even brought in a choreographer one time to one of my workshops to teach us how to do the happy feet.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
And I've got 3 left feet. I'm just so terrible, but moving is moving. And
so funny.
Yeah.
Well, and now that I've been here a while, I asked the person that interviewed me if she looked out the window, she saw me dancing in the parking lot.
This has got to be a fun person to work with.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Well, with that, I'm so sorry. I got to get to another facility and do music therapy.
But good.
See
All
ya.
right.
Go off and enjoy.
So yes, thank you. Pleasure to meet you, Janice.
Pleasure to meet you too, Judith.
Okay.
Thank you.
And now, Janice, I had cut you off.
That's fine.
Yes. Nope. I want you to now be able to tell your story.
So no, you know what I decided, and you and I have talked about this a lot. I love to write, and it's a hobby and it's fun. And I beat myself up about it all the time because maybe I'm not good enough, blah, blah, blah. It's, so yeah, I started writing, a book with my girlfriend on loss and recovery. And what I really wanted to focus on more was joy in recovery, that you can. But writing with her was kind of bringing me down. So I decided to use my unicorn challenge for something that would make me very, very happy. And it's a very personal thing. So I want to put together a book for my children. And it is all the stories, all the stories that my mother told me when I was a kid growing up. And it was so important for her, for me to know where she came from, and that she used to leave the apartment to go collect coals by the railroad, and what I realized was, one day I was walking and I go, it's not the stories that she wants me to know, it's the love behind them. And so I thought, that's what I want my kids to know, that there's this bond in a life that's lived in relationships with love, that's it, the life. So I decided to put together the Nornie book with all her recipes and tell how her and Dad met. And I think they'll like it. I mean, it's an emotional heartstring gift, So
I love it. I love it. And
that's what I'm using my 60 days for, something for me.
Perfect. And thank you so much for sharing that,
Yes.
because it is important for people to know that this process of being inspired to do the things that you want to achieve sometimes looks like the stuff within our work, sometimes looks like creating apps for our business. Sometimes it's about gathering the stories of our life and creating that in for our families. So I really want to stop us. You've been fabulous.
Thank you.
People get the drift of what this whole challenge is about. You know, theoretically, we've made it through 20 to tip 21. In reality, the tips never end. And if anyone would like to join us, again, just do your donation to Teach for America Nevada. Let me know. And the information is below, and come and join us. I am Andrea Goeglein. Thank you. And with me was Janice. Thank you for being here today.
Bye. I can't go. Oh, yeah. All right. What a great way to start my day at work. Thank you so much.
Yay.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Take
Thank you.
care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.